Hello YouTube, and welcome to my review of the in-action offshoot Cornelia's Gloucester from the first season of Code Geass. Now, Cornelia's Gloucester is pretty much a really souped up version of a normal Gloucester, and given that she's such a great pilot, it really seems like it's more advanced than it really is. She actually manages to take down the Gawain, piloted by CC and Lelouch. And even though the Gawain's a flight-based nightmare frame and this is a ground-based, she's just that good. So even though this is just a 6th generation nightmare frame, the way she uses it makes it seem like it's much more advanced. So without any further ado, let's get into this review. For head articulation, the head can rotate 360 degrees. You can go a little down, a good bit up, and it can lean side to side slightly, but it just bounces back into place. Now these pieces right here are soft, so you don't really have to worry about poking yourself or them breaking it if it falls over. So for torso articulation, it's rather limited. Pretty much all it can do is rotate a little bit. It could rotate 360 degrees, but everything kind of clashes with each other, and there is no up and down or leaning motions, just the rotation. For the cockpit articulation, there's a little groove right there that you kind of get your finger into so you can pull it out. And then as you're opening the cockpit, the seat will slide back, and this is where Cornelia would sit, and it's just on like a little loose joint right here, but it is nice that when you're opening and closing it, it does go in and out. And the cape is held together from the shoulders, and the centerpiece is just on two little ball joints. But it's all made out of this nice soft plastic. For arm articulation, it is severely hindered by the cape, so you will not be able to get a 360 rotation, but it goes that far forward and that far back. And it's on a ball joint, so it can wiggle a little bit in there. The shoulder pad is separate from the arm, so you can move it up and down. You get a 360 rotation below the shoulder. The elbow is double jointed, so you get above a 90-degree bend. So that's pretty decent. And the hand will rotate 360 degrees and wiggle a little bit. For leg articulation, the legs can be spread that far apart. They're not being stopped by the cape at all. There's still plenty of room to move in there, but that's how far the hips allow. The legs can be brought that far forward, that far back. Cape is hindering it. It could go the same amount as it did forward, but the cape stops it. The slash harken, or whatever this is, on the thigh can swivel until it hits something. The knees are really tight, but it's a single joint, but it does get a good range of motion. Get this out of the way so you can kind of see it. So, pretty good single joint. The foot is extremely opposable. Get a really wide stance. Not so much this way because of the wheels, but really good that way, which is the way you care about. Foot can go down, up, And of course the wheel is just like the Lancelot, so it can rotate 360 degrees. It's on a ball joint, so it can wiggle in any direction you need it to be. And overall, the leg articulation is probably the least hindered part of the entire figure. For accessories, Cornelia's Gloucester comes with a pair of fists, a pair of staff holding hands, and a pair of trigger finger hands. Comes with this machine gun. Looks like a spin-off of an Uzi. And the handle goes side to side. And her staff slash spear is nice. And the handle part right here feels like a little bit of rubber, but it's just a type of paint they used. And this is not all it can do. It can also open up and form an even cooler looking spear. So that looks really cool. Final thoughts. Cornelia's Gloucester is a really good in-action offshoot action figure, and it's definitely better than the Lancelot as far as leg articulation is concerned. Even with the cape hindering other parts of the articulation, it's still better than the Lancelot with its armor problems. Now, I can definitely recommend this to Cornelia fans or fans of the Code Geass series. However, if you just want a nightmare frame that was prominent in the show, then this probably isn't going to be what you're looking for. However, it is a really cool looking nightmare frame. Now, this is about $35 after shipping from Amazon, so it's not expensive. So if you have a little bit of extra spending money, then pick this girl up. And with that, I'll see you at the next review.